Welcome to another episode of RQRC. It's nice and warm out here in the shop. What I want to do today is to make a bumper for the Ultima out of a sheet of nylon I got off of Amazon. What I'm wanting to do is just kind of get rid of the old Raider bumper that I have on there that's pretty beat up and make something that's a little bit newer, just looks a little bit better. I got this sheet off of Amazon. I think it was maybe 12 bucks to my house or something. So it bends pretty easily with a heat gun, so I thought I'd go ahead and cut out a bumper design on it and get it fitted to this car. All right, so the first step is to go ahead and draw your design of your bumper on there. I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of glare on this sheet, but I basically took the Raider bumper and took it off and put it on this sheet and outlined it and just kind of made some modifications. I didn't really want the exact same design, so I kind of changed it a little bit. So first thing you gotta do is go ahead and get it drawn on there how you like it, and then go ahead and head over to the saw. I'm going to use my scroll saw here. Probably going to cut it a little bit bigger than what I've got drawn, and then just file out, use a file or my sanding wheel here to kind of get it to where I want it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so there's the basic form. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up on the sanding disc. All right, so I got the basic shape cut out. That stuff cuts super easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the front bumper off and just kind of size it up on there and see how I like it. I thought I was gonna have to bend it, but that doesn't look too bad just sitting like that. So yeah, I think I like it just like that. Underneath it looks pretty good. Probably gonna have to trim it down a little bit on the sides, but I don't even think I'm gonna bend it. If I do, it's just gonna be the slightest bend up. But I kind of like how this is looking. So I think what I'm gonna do is put this in the vise and just start filing it down to get it the shape a little bit more refined where I want it. Okay, I've got it all filed down. Not bad, looks pretty good. Just checking both sides here as far as the shape goes. Looks pretty close, looks good enough to me. So, fitting it on the car, I think what I want to do is file down the edges of the bumper, just so they don't get caught on anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the file. Well, I changed my mind. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that on the sanding disc real quick, on a sanding wheel. Okay, so the next step, I got to get the bumper sized up on the car. I think I want the smooth side up, the rough side down. So I'm going to go ahead and, there's the screw holes right there. Kind of line, for me, I can kind of line up the bumper with the lines on these A-arms. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this tape to tape it down. Then I want to spin the tires to see how much clearance I have. That doesn't seem like that's quite enough. I don't want the tires hitting the bumper. That looks better. That looks about even when I turn it both ways. Left and right looks good. I'll try to go ahead and flip the car around, keeping everything in the same orientation, which that didn't work too well. But I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on the front of this bumper now just to hold this here. Which is easier said than done. trying to leave these holes, tape away from these bulkhead holes, because that's what I'm going to use to mark my screw holes. So I'm going to go ahead and check left and right. Seems like the bumper needs to go this way just a little bit. So I'm just looking at the space between that tire and the bumper. Probably got 3/16 there. Probably a quarter there. So this, need to bring this left side out just a little bit. Okay, I think I've got that pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and, going through the bulkhead screws, I'm going to go ahead and mark the bumper from this top side. All right, so what I did here real quick before I drilled my holes or marked my holes, I went ahead and stuck 2 batteries in here. That seems to be about the right width. That way they're both the same. Keeps the distance between the bumper and the wheels exactly the same. So everything's nice and tight, nothing's loose there. The tape's actually holding it pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and get those holes marked. I'm just going to stick a 1/16 inch drill bit right in the center. Keep it as straight as I can. Twist that. That way I'm marking that piece of nylon on the bottom. I don't want to drill through it yet. And I'll take it off and then I'll check at the spacing and then I'll go ahead and drill it. Got marked. Go ahead and hopefully there's marks there. Yep. So I don't know if you can see the marks on there, but 2 marks. So I'm going to go ahead and check it with the bumper. Alright, so checking it with the original bumper that came with it. You probably can't see that, but perfect. I'm going to go ahead and drill those through. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drill the holes through there. I'm going to start off with a small drill bit. Perfect. Alright, I got the car turned back upside down. We're going to go ahead and double check it. Looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and countersink those 2 screw holes. Countersink those. Looks about right. Take the screws and see how they look in there. Maybe just a hair more. That ought to be perfect. Yep, got plenty of thread sticking through there, so let's get it on the car. So before I put it on the car, I think I'm going to take some 200 grit sandpaper and just kind of get the edges of this bumper, take any marks out of there that the saw put in there. There's not many. I'm really surprised. It looks really good. Just kind of smooth that out a little bit. I mean, one thing I did off screen is these edges on this bump, they were sharp, so I went ahead and filed them down a little bit just so they didn't grab on anything. Probably could file them down a little bit more, but I think they're okay. So let's go ahead and get this on. I'm not going to tighten these down too much, just snug them up. All right, I think it looks nice. I don't know if I like the gloss or not. I could always sand that down if I think it needs to be matte, but I think that looks pretty good. Something I was concerned about was the flexibility of this bumper. But that nylon seems really flexible. So I don't think it'll snap off. If it does, didn't cost that much, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, it's flexible. I don't see any issues with it at all. It's a little stiffer than what the Raider bumper was, but yeah, I think it's going to be just fine. Let's see how strong this stuff is. I got it in a vise. Let's go ahead and bend it over and see if it snaps. Yeah, that's pretty strong. I think that's going to be fine. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button.